Okay, I'm going to do a little demonstration on how to change the fuel filter. This Sims filter. These units are mostly fitted to the Nuffield Universal 3, Universal 4, 342 and 460. So I'm just going to go through what should be in the filter bowl, because my main problem I come across with these is people put the filter in, the bowl's missing all the components out of it and the filters just float inside and don't do anything, which would basically allow all the debris straight into the injection pump, which causes a lot of damage. So you can turn the fuel off on the tank if you like. Obviously the fuel's got to pass through the lift pump, so it won't matter if you don't turn it off. I've left it on in this case, so we'll see. Obviously, depending if the fuel level's right to the top, obviously I advise turning it off. If the fuel level's obviously down here, don't worry about it. The weight of the diesel's not going to push the fuel around. So it's a 5/8 spanner. Undo the nut underneath. So I'm going to put the new clean filter out of the way. We'll try and do this as cleanly as we can. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop the old filter in there. Dispensing the fuel in there. Now we're going to be dispensing the filter. I'm going to just pick it up and make sure nothing's gone with it. No plates or anything. In this case, I knew the plate was in the bottom, but it's desperately critical to make sure you don't chuck anything out with the filter. So what I'm going to do is clean this up, then show you what should be in your filter bowl. Okay. Next step, make sure you get the seal out of the top of the alley head here. They can be a pain, they can be rock hard. You might need a screwdriver, you might need a craft knife. Now, what you must do is put your screwdriver up and make sure you're scraping an alley. If it feels hard, a bit baker-likey, there'll be another one of these seals still stuffed in there. You'll have to get it out by whatever means. Obviously don't use flames, you'll melt the bloody filter head. But you know, I sometimes get a scalpel, cut it, then you can get in, dig it out. There can be a right pain, but you must get them out, otherwise won't seal and you distort the alley head. Okay, I'm going to show you what should be in the filter assembly here. So I've obviously got my filter, my sealing ring, and all the other little bits and bobs. So the first thing is, there's a rubber seal goes in there, number 1. And your bolt goes through. You can drop your spring in, your plain washer, your felt seal, your top hat. I've got one of the clips here. Basically the clip there, all that does is when you come to chuck the filter out, keeps all the bits and bobs on. And with the clips, you just need to push it down out the way of the thread. Drop your filter in like that. And obviously, you can see obviously it protrudes past the top there. And then select the correct, in the packs there's always a few sealing rings, just select the right one for your filter head. Once again, as I always say to Poke, if you're stuck or you're missing all the bits, all the housings have got distorted, you can always send the filter housing to us and I can assemble it with all the correct bits, and then you know, sorted for the future. So we'll put this on now. So we'll put the sealing ring up into the slot, which I've already cleaned out. Make sure you get this right. You don't want it to go in twisted. You don't want it to go in bulged. You just need it to go in. It's a bit cramped, but don't blame me. I didn't design it. So, we'll put the filter on. You should just nip it up. Obviously we can always tighten it more if we get any leaks. And there we go. Now what I'm just going to quickly cover with the help of my assistants is now obviously that filter canister is void of fuel. Now what I'm about to do is only really relevant to tractors fitted with this particular type of inline Sims pump. But to bleed it up, all you need to do is crack this little valve here, which should be relatively easy, like that. And then once the diesel starts to cook, what we're going to see, so we're going to see a few bubbles now coming out of there. But what you'll find is, as I start pumping in a minute, we'll have air, and then once we get a run of diesel, we'll just turn the tap. So I should just prime it. Just wipe the fuel off it. So this is your primer on your lift pump. Sometimes they have these pull screws, sometimes these pull wires. Obviously make sure you turn the fuel on your tractor. Now eventually what will happen is, once the filter housing is filled, you will hear changing what you're doing. Now some people might say, well, you can just prime it on the hand primer and the excess air will just go back to the tank. So hopefully we're running now. I can hear it's running, so my colleague's just going to turn the tap like that, and that's it. There we have it. I hope you found this helpful.